Plastic EP here live from Melbourne, New York, with the internet sensation. He's quickly becoming the sensation of the internet. My friend Mark Richardson. How are you today, Mark?
Doing good. I went over to my mom's house and did some gardening. Went and
Oh, that
cleaned up
must
her
have been
house.
great. You must have loved that.
Yeah, she likes it. I'm
Thanks
not.
for sharing that experience with all your fans. Now, listen, last week was fantastic with the Power Rangers, and you wanted to tell me a story, but I said, tell me off air. Now, since you told me that story, it's blown my mind, okay? So
Yeah.
you go through the story. I want to hear it one more time. Let's go.
All right. I had a friend who he did trading cards. He does trading cards, non-sports cards, like monster cards, universal monster stuff. But he had this idea to do like sexy vampire women cards. And he calls me up because I'm all into horror and stuff. And he goes, "Hey, would you build some sets and make some props that we want to take some photos to like sexy, outfits, lingerie girls with fangs and, just a creepy deal. And could you come up with a little concept for me?" So I came up with this ridiculous vampire concept for him. And he goes, "Well, could you be, like the art director and you come down here?" He goes, "I've never done anything like that." Uh, and I was going, "Oh, beautiful women in fangs. Hell yeah, I'll show up there." So I get there and the guy had never done anything like this. And I noticed the girls didn't have craft service. So I went and got wine coolers and fruit and stuff like that. And the girls quickly started to like me because they saw me bringing in craft service and stuff like that. The guy didn't have a clue. And it was at a loft. And he's on the phone the whole time. I'm hooking the girls up and getting them ready, and they're putting on their like sexy black lingerie and lace outfits and stuff. Nothing too provocative, but sexy. Victoria's Secrets kind of stuff. He goes, "Mark, you got to talk to me. You got to come talk to me." So I go in there and he goes, shut the door. I don't want the girls to hear." So I shut the door and I go, "What's up, brother?" And he's all like, "The guy that's giving me the money, he wants them to be completely nude." And I go, "What?" "He wants the cards to be completely nude. He doesn't want any kind of clothing on them." I go, "That's lame. That's stupid." I go, "Have you told the girls that?" He goes, "No, and I'm too afraid to say anything to him. Could you go and tell him that?" I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I go in the other room, and the girls are putting on their lingerie and talking and stuff. And I kind of go, "Excuse me, girls, I'm just there's been a change. We're not going to go with the outfits. We're going to do it totally nude. We're going to have like blood splatter on you and stuff like that. But we're going to be totally nude." And I was like waiting for like, wait, I want more money or this is ridiculous. I would never do that. And the girls are talking and they look over and they kind of grin at me and they start just stripping right in front of me. And I'm like, holy cow. So I went back in the other room and the guy's kind of like hiding going, "What'd they say?" I go, "They're nude in the other room, ready to shoot. Let's do this. Go out there and do it." And so he starts walking out the door and he stops and goes, "Mark, I don't know how to direct women like this. I've never done anything like this. Could you do it?" I'm like, "Dude, sure. Yeah, I'll direct them." So I'm getting girls and posing them. I'm getting them, I made all these like, knives and daggers and creepy ass things and candles and skulls. And I'm posing them all with these things. And what's funny is we had a makeup girl there who was very cute, but not sexy, just a cute girl. And she had a tank top on. And we have these beautiful women that are completely in the nude. And she dropped her a makeup brush and she went to pick it up. And I noticed, and I was one of them, every one of us looked to see how far we could see up her top. Even though we have all these nude women, that was sexier than, because it was provocative. And that's what I was trying to explain to him. But anyway, so we're starting to shoot this stuff. And the loft that we were shooting at, the owner comes pounding on the door going, "What are you doing in here?" And of course, I'm the one to answer the door. I go, "We're doing a little photo." He goes, no pornos in here." And I'm like, "No, it's not porn. We're just doing a it's a vampire short. We're going to do a little, no, I see nude girls back there. I go, well, they're, it's, no, get out of here. We're calling the police. And so I go to my friend and I go, hey, brother, come here. Get out of that room. Pull him out of the room. I go, listen, you're losing this location. We're going to have to either reschedule, because I have flats and everything else. I've built things in this place. Or you're going to have to go to another location. Find somebody, that has a place that's kind of creepy. Maybe we could find some graveyard or something. And he goes, oh, and he was one of those kind of guys that, like, every time I would tell him there's a problem, he would just start panicking, right? Like, I don't have no other place to go. I'm going to lose all my money work. What do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, I'm thinking, well, I do have the keys to the set on Power Rangers. And he's, what? I go, it's a Saturday. I don't think anyone's there. There's a couple of sets that will work. Let's get them all. So we van them all up, get them in a van, and I take them to Power Rangers set in Santa Clarita, and thinking, if anyone sees it, I'm dead. I go to the security guards, and they knew me. I've been out there around long enough. And I said, hey, I was shooting a little short in stage 6 there, or whatever stage it was. If you see people out there, that's the reason why. And they're like, oh, cool, no big deal. And I could have pulled that off, because the producers there were very cool to me, and we did wacky things, and I did do little side projects and stuff, and they were very cool about that. I could have pulled it off. So I get the girls, and I go, girls, no matter what, we have air conditioning in here, we got drinks. There's no reason for you to step outside. No matter what, do not step outside. And I'm thinking, if I'm going to get fired, this show's done with me, because some of the security guards are going to say they saw a girl or something. But so the girls agree. And so once again, I start directing them, shooting them, posing them, and stuff like that. And I noticed we had this one extremely hot girl, and she had a little poodle, and she loved to walk around with her little poodle butt ass naked, and she was extremely hot. But I don't see her anywhere, and I go, I can't remember her name, because once again, I can't remember names. But and I'm not supposed to mention names. But I asked where she is, and one of the girls goes, oh, she's walking her dog. I go, wait, she's walking her dog outside? Oh, yeah. I go, is she nude? And they go, well, you know her. I'm like, oh my God. So I opened the door to go find her. And we're shooting next to Jag, the TV show Jag. And they're shooting on a Saturday. And lined up is the entire cast and crew of Jag, jaw dropped, staring at this beautiful nude woman walking her little chihuahua down the hall. And so I go, hey, we need you in here. And I bring her in, and I go, and I shut the door. And of course, when I shut the door, everybody's still like staring, trying to get as much of a glimpse of her as possible. And I'm like, this is it. I'm fired. So anyway, we shoot the thing, and I go to work the next day, and nobody says anything. And I go to the work, for about a week. I did hear that Jag started rumors that we shoot pornos on Power Ranger sets on the weekend. That was the rumor I heard, and I think still exists. I was working on Jag. The Power Ranger shot pornos on it. And I thought I got away with it. I thought, you know what? I saved the guy's ass. Of course, I got nothing out of that, but I did it. It was my call. But I get a call to go see the office. But just by this story, I'm not the kind of guy that follows the rules. And so I'm always getting called into the producer. I was like the principal's office. So I go in there, and the guy's Israeli, and I love the man. I still do. And he goes, Mark, shut the door. I need to talk to him. It's ridiculous, but I need to talk to you. So I shut the door, and I sit down, and he goes, Mark, you won't believe this. I just need to hear it from you, of course. But you won't believe what I is it racist to try to sound Israeli? I better watch that. You won't believe what I heard. He goes, I heard, this is so funny, that you had naked women on our children's show on the weekend and were taking pictures of them on our set. Yeah, I did. Wait, what? You had naked women on our children's show set, and you're taking pictures of them. Yeah, I was. He goes, Mark, that's ridiculous. What were you thinking? And I go, I did it. I'm sorry. I understand the implications of doing this. It's atrocious. It was not right. I cheated the shot, so you couldn't really tell it was a Power Ranger set, but I didn't even go into that. I had naked women shooting on the Power Ranger set. He goes, Mark, what? I just want to, if Haim Saban finds out about this, you're fired. And I was like, I'm not fired yet. So I pulled it off. They're called vampire lust trading cards if you ever find them. But yeah, they were completely shot on the Power Ranger stages.
I got to tell you, Mark, that's the best story I've heard. And when you told me that story last time, it's been in my mind since then. And it's like a story that you can't fathom that's going to go down in history. Even if you told that to someone, you find it hard to believe.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that I did it. It was just in the moment, and I felt sorry for the guy. The guy had set up this deal. He had prepaid the guy. I gotta fix something. He had prepaid the girls. He hadn't been paid, and it wasn't even. When I think back, it wasn't even that much money. But yeah.
But that's a great side project for you because now you got into photography, which is really great.
I wasn't the photographer; I was the director.
Okay. Yeah,
but our on-set photographer was the photographer for that, so that's who I used.
You got some other fantastic stories. I'm all ears. I love these stories.
Well, I wrote some down. Let's see. Oh, I got one. Did I tell the one about the monster guy, the guy that had the VW van?
The witch?
Okay, never mind. The guy that did the monsters. I'm going to do some Power Ranger stuff still. The guy that did the monsters, and the Power Ranger monsters were these huge rubber costumes, but they were monstrous. They were monsters. Well, the guy that controlled that whole department would come to set. And usually it was a second unit set because that's where the second unit, the guys in costumes with the helmets on, would fight the monsters. But he'd bring all these monsters in his VW van. And it was like a 60s style VW van. And it had like this faded Alice in Wonderland theme on it with, the caterpillar smoking the hookah pipe. And, it was all faded. And he's kind of a hippy dippy kind of guy, a little short guy. But he was a trip. I love the guy. But he would stick all the monsters in the van. And so it looked like he's driving a bus full of monsters. And we were at a park waiting, and he was late. I'm not sure what the problem was. But the entire crew, second unit crew, and I was there, we're waiting to start our day. But John, he was late. And so we see his van coming down the road where we're at, and it's a park, so it's kind of countryish, and a motorcycle cop's behind him, and he's got a siren on, and we see, and he's probably about a good half a block away from us. He pulls over, and the whole crew was sitting there watching this thing, and we see the motorcycle cop get off his bike and walking up to him. You see the motorcycle cop kind of slow down and look in each window. And he says something to John, and he gives up his ticket. And all of a sudden, the motorcycle cop, I'm not making this up, he's got his ticket book, and he goes, and John drives away. And so I'm like, what the hell just happened? So he pulls up, and he's unloading all these giant monster suits. I go, John, what just happened? He goes, oh, with the cop? I go, yeah. He goes, well, he pulled me over. I guess I was speeding because I was late. And he comes walking up and he goes, hey, you got a bunch of monsters in your van. And I said, you see them too? The cop just said, get the hell out of here.
Another classic. It's unbelievable.
No, that was a great one. That guy was hysterical. Oh, there's a couple things that I thought was odd. Um, uh, I would get most of my devices and gadgets. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I can see it. Everything's fine.
All
Everything's
right,
fine.
I'll have to fix it later then. Uh, I would get a lot of my gadgets at swap. You guys call them swap meets in Australia, or
Yeah,
they
that's right. Swap meets.
swap
Exactly.
flea markets and stuff?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
a lot of my crap, I shouldn't say crap, but a lot of my magical devices came from just stuff I'd find at the swap meet that I would glue together and paint and, and fix up because, like I said before, I didn't have much of a budget, and so I would get stuff really cheap and just throw stuff together. And there's one time I found it was a like a meter, like this weird. It looked like a '50s futuristic device, and it was perfect for Power Rangers. I mean, I painted it Billy Blue, and Billy had it all the time. And I used it for I think the first and second season, whenever they were at the command center talking to Zordon, and I get a phone call from a priest from Scientology, and he goes, "Are you Mark Richardson?" I go, "Yes." He goes, "Do you know that you illegally have a Scientology device that you use on your show?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I guess what it was, it was probably, I don't know if it was stolen or what, or the guy was a Scientology priest, but it's what the Scientologists use to become a solid, when they examine you, and that's what they use. They use this like weird device, and that's what I used on Power Rangers all the time. So Billy unknowingly was a Scientologist.
Your stories get better and better.
Let's
What's
see.
next?
Uh, Here's one. This is Gene Simmons was with his son, Shannon Tweed's son, and I'm sure he's grown up by now. But this is in the late '90s. But I'm a big Kiss fan. I like Kiss, and I'm in my prop room, and Gene Simmons walks in with Shannon Tweed's kid. And Shannon Tweed's kid's probably 12 or 13 at the time, and Shannon Tweed's kid's got, I don't even know the kid's name, but he's got a video camera, and they're videotaping the set. Obviously, with Gene's clout, they just were allowed to come onto set, and so I'm standing there just dumbfounded because Gene Simmons walking around, and I had a Kiss My Ass, a tribute to Kiss CD on my counter, and he literally goes, "What's your name?" And I go, "Mark." And so he signed it. He had Shannon Tweed videotape. I had a Kiss Army patch on the wall, and he's like, he looks at me and he points at. So obviously he knew I was a fan. But the weirdest thing is, do you know the TV show Gigantor? Did you ever watch that as a kid?
Yeah, that's huge here. Like Eighth Man, that was another one we had. Gigantor's huge here.
Well, anyway, I had a Gigantor. It just came out on VHS, and I had a Gigantor poster. I'm a big Gigantor fan growing up, loving monsters, and the parallel Power Rangers with giant monsters. And Gene Simmons points at it to Shannon Tweed's kid, and the videotapes Gene Simmons pointing at the Gigantor's poster, and he goes, "Gigantor," and I go, "Gigantor." He looks over at me, grabs me, and Gene Simmons and I sang the entire theme song to Gigantor, to Shannon Tweed's videotape. So I'm sure it's been recorded and gone, but somewhere at one point was me and Gene Simmons singing Gigantor together. I would kill for that. I would kill to have that. But yeah, we would have celebrities pop over all the time. Like remember when they did that Jingle All the Way movie? You remember this
Yes,
is
I do.
Sinbad
Christmas
and
movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, that was based on the sensation of the Red Ranger, like everybody trying to get the Red Ranger. I literally would go to Toys R Us and say, "I'll tell you what, I'll bring you a Power Ranger, one of the actors, to sign autographs if you hold certain toys." So I would get the toys, have them sign it, and I was making more money selling Power Ranger toys at that time than I was working on Power Rangers. But yeah, I'd get like Walter, who played the Black Ranger. He'd show up and sign autographs, and I would get any toy I want. But I was like doing drug deals with Power Ranger toys forever. But we'd get a lot of celebrities in there. I remember Bulk and Skull were being all wacky and kind of terrorizing this woman, and she got really upset. And it was Elvis Priscilla Presley, and she went and complained to production. And production had to Bulk and Skull would get reprimanded all the time too, because they'd always get in trouble. Wish I could fix this. I don't know what I did, but it just went away.
You're perfect. I can see you. It's fine.
All right. So there's that story. You guys want me to move on to some other show, or do you want to keep talking Power Rangers?
I want to talk a little bit more Power Rangers. We can move on to another show another time. This is unbelievable because Power Rangers was like Beatlemania with kids.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Who else came on the show?
What's
celebrities?
That? I'm trying to think. We had people over all the time. Peter Frampton showed up one time, and they would always show up. One time, I had done a movie called Outlaw Force, and this is kind of a funny story because one of the executive producers ended up buying this movie called Outlaw Force, and I didn't do weapons on it. I honestly played. I played back in the day. Like in the late 80s, early 90s, I played a lot of like bad guys. And unfortunately, I'd seen that movie Warriors, and I really loved David Patrick Kelly. He's the guy. Do you know this movie? Clicks the bottle. The Warriors, come out and play. Do you know this movie? Well, anyway, every time I played a bad guy, there's two things I did. I tried to talk like him, which is really ridiculous. And I had a butterfly knife. And so every time I'd audition for these low budget piece of crap movies, I was like, let's go get them. I'd do my butterfly knife. But this movie Outlaw Force, the guy, the star director, writer, Dick, in the movie, I play this. It's a horrible guy. I'm in a gang, a Hollywood gang. We kill this cowboy's wife, and we abduct his little girl, and we're going to sell her for kiddie porn, like in Hollywood. And what he does is he comes to Hollywood and hunts us down cowboy style and kills us one at a time. But we have we're doing this transaction on the roof of a building, high rise, and we have all these different gangs. And it was all Hollywood gangs in those times, with the fake mohawks and the wraparound glasses and the colored hair. But we had all these gangs going after them and stuff. And I think I was the second to last to die because I was, was one of the characters you really wanted to, to die in it. I was like really horrible in it. It was stupid. My death scene's really stupid. They established that I couldn't count. And like he does this big gun battle, and I have my balancing knife, and I think it's and I hear my stupid voice. He shot all your bullets, cowboy. I counted, and I do my butterfly knife, and I come walking up to him with my knife like I'm gonna kill him, and he looks at his gun, and he blows me away because he still had another bullet, and I get shot and fly off the stage. But the reason why I'm telling this story. Oh,
yeah, I'm here. You with us, Mark?
That me?
Yeah, okay. Have you got one more story, or we're going to make a wrap and save everything for next time? Is it a wrap?
What's that?
All right, we'll say goodbye to everyone. Stay there for a minute.
All right.
And it's Plastic EP and Mark Richardson saying goodbye to everyone. That was fantastic. Thank you, Mark.
I got to finish that story.
Hey?
I said I got to finish this story too.
All right. See ya.
See ya.